is going on, everybody? God damn it, Alex. Hate you.
Is my camera not working?
No, you did this on purpose.
Is my camera not working?
You turned it off.
What?
You turned it off, you tool.
I didn't turn nothing off, dude. Oh, look at that cute picture of you, Ben. Oh my gosh, how cute, dude. Hold on, let me see if I can get my camera going again. Oh, there we go. We're back.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. We take 2 weeks off and he thinks he just come in here with jokes and stuff. I don't know who he thinks he is. Shaved his whole beard too. Fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I know. Baby face.
Crazy.
Shit. I hope somebody was around to see that.
If not, they'll find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Sending a tweet out to say that we're live.
I did the same.
Oh yeah, you sure did.
Man. Been a minute, and there's a lot of mess that happened.
2 weeks off, boy.
2 weeks off, a lot of stuff happened, and actually a lot of stuff recently in the past couple days.
I know, man. I picked a bad week to fall asleep last week.
That's true.
Podcast, because, man, it's been wild out there.
It has been, and I feel like we might just do a rapid fire rundown of some events and just kind of get into it.
Oh, we can get into it, boy. I'll tell you what.
Because I will eventually get hung up on something and go on a rant, but we'll try and get through at least some of the stuff that happened these past couple weeks. Hope everybody's Halloween was good. Hope everybody had a safe Halloween. Hope everybody if you have kids, hope kids got all the candy in the world that they desired, and I hope that you got some of it.
Well, I forgot I'm gonna have to hold my mouth up close to the. Hear me all right?
Yeah.
Let me know real quick. Okay. My parents do a haunted house every year.
Yep.
In their garage. And oh my dear God. This year, not only the best haunted house, but I scared the ever-living shit out of so many people.
Perfect.
Big people, small people, grown people, old people, young people, everybody. I had a kid he was walking through the haunted house and he's like, oh, this isn't scary. So you came around one corner.
Yeah.
And my sister, Abby, you walk past my sister, Mary, who has badass makeup. Mm-hmm. Everybody walking past her, I could hear the groups being like, that's a real person. And then another kid would be like, that's not a person. And she would literally just lean in and be like, I'm a real person. And you could hear him right behind me. Like there's a garbage bag kind of tarp situation. She's right behind me. So then they would come around this corner and Abby was in this corner where a strobe light and a fog machine was. Mm-hmm. And behind Abby was an oven that was open with fake legs and fake arms and shit. And people would walk up because the oven light was on, but you couldn't see Abby. She was wearing a jacket with a hoodie cover on. And so she's turned like this. You can't see her. And directly across from her is me in this crazy mask. If you saw Abby's Snapchat at all.
Yeah.
A real fucking creepy mask. So they would come around the corner and they'd either pick me up or they would start to kind of see Abby. So whichever way, they had someone coming behind them to just scare the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. There was 4 groups that stopped and would not walk any further. They were like, we're done. I want out.
And they just made it through the first turn.
I am done. Yes. It was fucking fantastic, dude. Anyway,
that's awesome.
That's my rant.
That's awesome. Shoot, I don't even know. Where do you want to start, man?
I don't know where the people want us to start.
I don't know. I feel like let's just talk about the most recent stuff that happened. Ham said that she'd piss her pants on entry. Ham does not do well with scary things.
Yeah, dude, it was creepy as fuck, I gotta say, but it was fun.
I'm gonna start with I guess the most recent thing that happened, the Astroworld concert and the tragedy that happened there and the really poor handling of it by literally everyone involved. from
I
the
know
top down.
literally nothing about this. So will you please educate me?
Okay, so everything that I've seen so far is so Astro World was fuck. Somebody's gonna have to fill me in because I don't remember off the top of my head where it was happening. I want to say it was like in Houston or something this past weekend or Friday.
Typically is. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so Astro World was going on now, a big concert, obviously Travis Scott thing. Anyway, so I guess to start with, security was just bad for the whole thing because it turns out that like people just rushed the gates, and there was an overload of people there. They already had concerns about the amount of people that had bought tickets because there was a lot of people there that had bought tickets. And they were like, wow, they were already kind of like, this is a lot of people. And then they didn't beef up security at all in any way, as far as I know. And then there was just like a bunch of like teenage kids and younger just like pushed over one of the fences and just like stormed the concert. So that happened. Yeah, there was a bunch of people sneaking in. So like that happened. So anyway, so there's this just loaded mass of people at this concert, and then Travis Scott, gets into his show and starts, and then this mosh pit happens, and people start kind of like pushing forward, rushing towards the stage and stuff, and people are just getting trampled in the crowd. So and obviously at this point, like nobody has any regard for anybody else that's like in the crowd and happening. So it turns out that like, 8 people died at this concert, due to like the moshing and everything. Is in Houston.
One of the victims was 14. I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What's up,
dude.
Coke? Yeah. It's in Houston. Hence the word
bro.
Astro in the name. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. So 8 people died and hundreds of more were injured. And there's been videos and like other recounts of everything that like happened. And apparently like there's these 2 people like climbed up to where I guess one of the cameramen were or whatever, and we're like yelling at him. They're like, stop the show, like somebody's like down and dead, like stop the show. And the guys turn around like, what do you mean, blah blah blah. And people are like trying to tell Travis Scott to like stop the show.
Jesus, dude.
And and like get these people help, and like he didn't do anything about it. And by the time he kind of they all figured out what was going on, like by the time he like stopped his show and was trying to get everybody to calm down and get help to the people that needed it, it was too late. So like 8 people died, hundreds of other people were injured, and there's just been a lot of videos going around of like, so like this is how of like recounts of other artists who have like stopped their shows in the middle of the show just for one person passing out. Like there was a video I saw today on TikTok. I've been scrolling through TikTok, dude. And it's been a lot. Like Logic has stopped his show multiple times before and been like, hey, yo, quit, and like directed the crowd to like get out of the way of people coming to help. A lot of metal bands have been like, stop.
Logic is a badass rapper and a good human being.
He's a great
I've listened to some interviews with him. I was at a Blink-182 concert, craziest concert I've ever been to. Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, Blink-182, Chester French, some other ones. Yeah. Rehab was there. And Mark, Tom, and Travis, like on probably their second song, stopped the show because a girl went down, and you could see it was fucking mayhem, dude. It was one of those shows where like you don't even feel like your feet are touching the ground. You're just like
picked up by a massive.
In SpongeBob when the what do they call them? Meat. They all come in. Yeah. Anchovies. The anchovies come in. I think that's what they call them. To fucking the Krusty Krab, and they're trying to whip out. I think that's the first episode. Anyway, you feel like you're just literally in a sea of people. Like you're not even controlling your movement whatsoever. And you saw a big pit of people kind of go down towards the front, and they stopped the show right away and was like, look, it ain't worth dying at a rock show. Mm-hmm. Like no rock show in the world's worth dying for, because it was one of those type events. And I've been in a lot of mosh pits where they've stopped and been like, no, somebody's down. Sorry, we got to get him up. Yeah. It's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I've seen a lot of videos of like what should have happened, basically based off like what other artists have done at their shows, and they've been like, stop, like directing the crowd to get out of the way and help people, and that didn't happen at this one. So The Astro World, like event organizers and Travis Scott have both put out messages that were like, "Yo, we're super sorry this happened, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families." Blah 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 blah. And it's gone from there. So now the Houston police are looking into it, and they're trying to figure out what happened. But it's saying the victims' age range, the ones that died were from 14 to 27. 25 people were transported to a hospital, and 13 are still hospitalized, including 5 minors. No one has been reported missing, thank God. But yeah, Combo, what's up? He said it appears they got suffocated from the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been at a rock show where things took place prior. I ingested it into my body and then like got into the crowd, and I got to a point where it wasn't even that big of a crowd, but I was like, "Holy fuck, I can't breathe." So I like got out of there. So I know how what that feeling is like. It's not great. But he said there were reports of people being injected with something. In a big crowd like that, as unfortunate as it is, I'm not surprised to hear that there were some shitbags running around like just injecting people with God knows what.
I was just reading that article. They did inject. He was suffering from an overdose. He wasn't one of the ones that were trampled. They injected him with Narcan, which is what stops the opioid overdose, like in Pulp Fiction where he stabs her in the chest with that fucking syringe. That's Narcan. Who else? The dude from Motley Crue. The dude from Motley Crue overdosed on heroin in that fucking
in the Dirt movie.
I can't remember what the name of the movie is. I don't think it was Tommy Lee. I think it was the bassist or the guitarist.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's based on it. It's not as dramatized as it is in the movie, where that is a true story where they were bringing him to the hospital with a heroin overdose, and the one medic was like, "Dude, he's gone. Like, you're not gonna save him." And he's like, "I'm not gonna fucking let Tommy Lee or whichever one it was, die in my paramedics," and stabs him in the chest with the fucking Narcan, and then he just So no, I don't think it's true that people are like being injected with something. I'm sure there was a lot of drug use going on, a lot of fucking drug use. And if you're at a fucking rock show or a rap show, whatever, and someone goes down, everything should stop.
It should.
Like, I've had hundreds of people go down in front of me at rock shows, and everybody in the crowd stops. We push each other out. We form a circle. We get the person up. Resume. Yeah. That's the way that it should be. But, dude, fucking ain't no show worth dying over.
No,
brother.
Heck no. So, yeah, that's just unfortunate fucking tragedy that happened there. It was mishandled poorly from the top down. So I'll be interested to see what the cops come up with.
Yeah. People are gonna fuck up concerts, dude. People are gonna fuck up concerts for us.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, I did read through Travis's apology, like kind of briefly, and he definitely said sorry without actually saying sorry. It wasn't a great apology.
Imagine being that desperate to see someone perform live that you just trample over someone who's fucking on the ground in front of you.
Like it just give you just don't care.
How does that fucking happen? Like, your value, that's a human life, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, come on. And I get it, people are pushing from behind, and it's hard.
I mean, it's a lot of people, and you
chaos.
Can't. It's not.
It's fucking chaos.
It's just zero empathy felt through it. Yeah, it was pretty shitty. Like,
I mean, I get it's not his fault, but at the same
time, as the artist, you have.
You got to make sure the people that are there to see you are safe.
Yeah, you have a responsibility to make sure.
If you feel anybody is in danger at any point in your show, you should stop fucking playing music. I haven't seen the video. I don't fucking know how it went down. So he might be completely, free and clear of any sort of blame here. But like I said, that Blink-182 concert that I went to was fucking mayhem.
Yeah.
And they had a pretty good pulse. And right away, when shit started to go south, they stopped the music like, yo, hey, get those people up. Like, we're not playing another fucking lyric. until everybody here is safe. Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I think he definitely has some blame because he just failed to realize what was happening and didn't stop the show in order to try and get
yeah,
everything under control. And especially after seeing multiple videos this past couple of days of other shows and stuff where the artists are still performing, but they still have wherewithal to like look at the crowd, and when something goes wrong, to
yeah,
like quit. Hey, get these people up, help them out, and go get them some water or something. Like,
yeah.
so
What a bummer. We better move on from that though, or else this is going to be a 3-hour podcast.
yeah,
so.
for sure.
Thoughts and prayers. I don't mean that shittily. I mean that like for real. That sucks.
Heartfelt.
I mean, a 14-year-old goes to see Travis Scott and dies. That's fucking shitty.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving
on. That's my first thing up. What do you got?
What do I got, brother?
Yeah.
You seen Fauci's dogs? Oh my god.
This fucking guy.
How terrible. Yeah, sandflies, dude. We need the research.
Do we though?
And we just put them in those little bags so we don't have to hear him scream.
Yeah, they put them in the bags and they like basically just snip their vocal cords so that they can't. So it doesn't get like. Now I did a lot of reading on that last week to figure it out, and the reports coming out say that they nip the dog's vocal cords in like a humane way, and it's also for like the safety of everybody else that's in there, because I mean, obviously, however many dogs you have in there, if they're all barking and yipping, it's gonna get to a very high decibel level and it's gonna bust hearing. But like,
okay, well,
do we even need to like test on the dogs in the first place?
How about we just don't put the fucking dogs in a bag, the dog's head, mind you, in a bag with a bunch of fucking sandflies to see how we're gonna create a vaccine for some fucking sandfly in the desert. Like, there's no better way. You're telling me there's no better way? That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah, it's the easiest and most and the cheapest way.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, why are we doing this research? I mean, like, this is our tax dollars. Like, if you surveyed American people and said, hey, we're going to conduct this survey where we put fucking beagles on this table and enclose their head with a bunch of sandflies while the sandflies just eat their fucking faces off. Do you know, is that something you want your tax dollars to go to? I feel like most normal people
99% of the populace is going to be like, we definitely do not want our tax dollars going to that.
Not real comfortable with that. I think we pass maybe on the sandflies eating the beagles' faces. I think maybe we, go ahead and move on from that one. How about we cure cancer first? Like, let's do that. That'd be fine with me. Like, let's use all the, even, I don't want beagles' faces to be eaten in the first place. But even if it came out and said, hey, we're trying to cure cancer, I'd be like, that sucks for those beagles, but at least I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I do, again, let me make this statement clear. I don't want beagles hurt. I'm a dog owner. I love my dog. Obviously, you're a dog owner.
Yep.
Loki's chilling out back there.
He's literally under my desk right now.
Fucking the most. If that happened to my dog, I would be wrecked.
I'd go full John Wick on some people.
I would be not mentally stable if I had to watch my dog go through that.
Yeah.
And I understand that they're trying to cure this, disease or whatever. And like, unfortunately, this is the best way. But no, dude, that's not the best way, because it shouldn't be the way. Like, we shouldn't, let's not do that. Let's just not put beagles, or any dog for that matter, in that type of situation. I don't like it. Fuck dog. And did you read that it was directly tied to Fauci and like gain of function research?
Something like that. Like, I'm trying to look something up again, like really quick, but there was something along the lines of there was talk about gain of function research.
Yeah, because that was the other thing, is they were saying that it wasn't Fauci, but the long and short of it is it was tax dollars that paid for that research.
Yeah, and Fauci was the head of the NIAID who was doing this shit. So like, he's responsible. He would have had to been the one to sign off on it.
Did you see him sitting in front of Rand Paul this week? Just fucking getting grilled.
Really?
Dude, if you could pull up that clip of Fauci getting pompous this whole time. And I think the NIH, is that what it's called? NIH? Is finally starting to turn on him and be like, yo, I think that whole Wuhan virus might have come from Wuhan, dog. Like, and not the wet market, but the
thing,
the research center that we're not involved in gain of function research. It depends on what you, if you argue with Fauci, you're arguing with science. Like, well, Mr. Fauci, I'd like to talk about this whole Wuhan wet market that this came from, because again, you conveniently got a lab that's been cited numerous times for not following health and safety protocols, and one of the spouses from that lab actually died from coronavirus. So it's kind of like, oh, dude, I don't know. I think there might be some dots to connect over in the Wuhan lab.
Yep, I think I found the clip. Now, granted, chat, this comes from Fox News, so take this.
Well, yeah, because CNN's not going to put it on their website.
But that's
another thing I want to talk about.
This is what we got right now. So,
in the Senate with Dr. Anthony Fauci, also Dr. Rochelle Walensky from the CDC was there, facing questions from lawmakers.
Is defining away gain of function. No. You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape the idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab.
Lord have mercy. Alex, what's going on back there? Oh my God, there's some background noise coming in out of God knows where right now, and I don't know what's happening.
Is that coming from me?
I want to say yes.
My microphone was unplugged.
Whack. It might. You know what? It might have done. It might have picked up on your webcam mic.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and play it again. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry. I'm trying to listen to it.
The preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab, and what you've done is change the definition on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research that's going on. Until you admit that it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker. They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function?
According to the definition that is currently operable, Senator, let's make it clear for the people who are listening. The current definition was done over a 2 to 3 year period by outside bodies, including the NSABB, 2 conferences by the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine on December 2014, March 2016. We commissioned external risk-benefit assessment, and then on January of 2017, the Office of Science and Technology Policy of the White House issued the current policy.
And coincidentally,
I have not changed
the definition
any
appeared
definition.
On the same day the NIH said that yes, there was a gain of function in Wuhan, the same day the definition appeared, the new definition, to try to define away what's going on in Wuhan. Until you accept it, until you accept responsibility, we're not going to get anywhere close to trying to prevent another lab leak of this dangerous sort of experiment. You won't admit that it's dangerous, and for that lack of judgment, I think it's time that you resign.
Thank you, Senator Paul, and I would like to give the time to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, well, there were so many things that are egregious misrepresentation here, Madam Chair, that I don't think I'd be able to refute all of them, but just a couple of them for the listeners to hear for. You have said that I am unwilling to take any responsibility for the current pandemic. I have no responsibility for the current pandemic. The current pandemic, okay? Number 2, you said the overwhelming amount of evidence indicates that's a lab leak. I believe most card-carrying viral phylogenists and molecular virologists would disagree with you that it is much more likely, even though we leave open all possibilities, it's much more likely that this was a natural occurrence. Third, You say we
We've
can
tested 80,000 animals and no animals have been
Paul,
found with COVID.
Senator Paul, the time is for.
And
to
third,
respond.
you made a statement just a moment ago that's completely incorrect, where you say we continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You approved it in August of last
completely-
year.
No, your statement says, quote, I wrote it down as you were writing. You continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of
You were in
Virology.
committee a month ago and
Which
said you
is
still trust the
completely-
Chinese scientists and you still support the research over there. You said it a month ago in
Senator
committee.
Paul, I have allowed Dr. Fauci to respond. You've had your time. I'm going to give him.
He's going to
one
be
more minute.
dishonest. He ought to be challenged.
Senator Paul, we will allow Dr. Fauci to respond after you've given accusations like that. Dr. Fauci.
Well, I don't have any more to say except to say that, as usual, and I have a great deal of respect for this body of the Senate, and it makes me very uncomfortable to have to say something, but he is egregiously incorrect in what he says. Thank you.
Thank
History
you.
will figure that out on its own.
So we will turn to.
Fauci. FBI don't want us playing it. Yeah, they were trying to get us to stop because they know we were right. Anyways, I can't believe that dude was just like, yeah, I'm not responsible for this at all. Like, what?
Senator, I'm gonna throw out a bunch of dates and a bunch of fancy words, and I was writing it down while you were talking, and what you said is completely untrue. On March the 3rd, we declared as an institution that we're not doing gain-of-function research, and on May the 5th, we said we're not doing gain-of-function research. Don't look at the pictures. Don't trust the Fox News. What we've done here. Wait, what have we done here? Oh, we're doing gain of function. I mean, no, we said we're not doing gain of function research. Shut the fuck up, dude. Are you like?
Dude was like, it's a natural occurrence, and I was like, show me where. Show me where.
Let's look at that a little bit, Mr. Fauci. We'd like to see where it's a natural occurrence that you're studying the fucking bat coronavirus, and just so happens that the entire world comes down with the bat coronavirus.
Yeah, no shot that it naturally just was like, oh, yep, we're going to start here, and now it's going to go. Like, no way, dog. No
Total
freaking
coincidence. It was those fucking pangolins, dude. If we would just stop trafficking
First
those
of all,
pangolins, dude, we would have been fine.
way. Leave the damn pangolins alone.
They're cute though.
They're cute as fuck.
They are cute.
And they ain't
If I
hurting
get-
nobody.
If I could get my hands on a pangolin, I might fucking nab one
No,
of
you
them
leave
bad
the little
boys.
damn pangolins alone where they belong in their natural habitat.
I know. Sorry, I'll leave them
We've
alone.
admired
I don't
them
want
from
a-
afar.
I don't want a pangolin. That's how we got COVID anyway.
Yeah, dude, Fauci sucks.
Yeah, dude, I just love, like, I wanted Rand Paul to run for president when Trump ran in 2020. He was my favorite of the whole bunch, and then Trump just kept winning primaries, and the whole world was like, how is this happening?
How is this happening?
And by the way, he's gonna run again in 2024. And I saw a stat today that like Biden's approval numbers are like 28%, and Kamala Harris's approval numbers are like 26%. Like fucking terrible.
Of course they're terrible. She hasn't done a fucking thing. Neither has
Well,
Biden.
we just saw the governmental run in Indiana. No, not Indiana.
I don't know. New
Vermont.
Jersey just had
No,
their-
Virginia. Virginia was the big one, and Jersey was another big one.
Jersey was a huge one. That one was pretty sketchy.
And those states both went red, right?
No. Phil Murphy won out in Jersey.
Oh, did he?
Narrowly. It was, I don't want to say it looked sus. It was just like the Republican candidate was winning, like it was up by a large margin, and then everything else started reporting. But like it was weird because like the Republican candidate in a lot of counties was like up by a large margin, like with like 95% of the county reporting, and then like at the very end it flipped.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
the mail-in votes, dude.
yeah, so it was crazy. Murphy didn't win by much, and I know there's a lot of people in Jersey that are not happy that he won because he did a shitty job as the governor. But
And by the way, when I
see.
say mail-in votes, I'm not saying mail-in votes like those are fraudulent votes. I understand how the
Yeah.
process works, and that's not a fraudulent vote. I'm
No,
just saying
it's
it's
just- yeah.
that's what happened with the Trump deal.
Yeah.
Most mail-in votes are Democratic. That's just how it goes. You
Yep.
know. So anyway,
Anywho's, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Fauci's out here just killing puppies and denying any responsibility for the pandemic. And Koch's right. He said he's not responsible for the current pandemic because the current virus is a variant. But him and all of his cronies over in fucking Wuhan at that lab are 1,000% responsible for the leak and it getting out into the world. So
yeah,
dude just continues to daily show that he's just a shitty fucking human being.
I'm not comfortable enough saying 1,000%, but I'm comfortable enough saying 999%.
Yeah.
Like we can't prove it. I wish we could. It
But
would
a
be
lot of the
fantastic,
evidence is heavily leaning towards.
especially to go back to like Facebook and be like, hey, remember when you were blocking and banning people for saying that coronavirus came from a lab in Wuhan?
Mm-hmm.
And now, oh, what do you know? That was actually fact. So can we knock it off with censorship? That would be
That'd be
cool.
super
Like,
tight. That'd be super
know?
tight.
Anyway, that's
Um,
another topic for
yeah.
another time.
I guess keeping in the same vein of things, I watched like the first hour and a bit of that Joe Rogan podcast with Sanjay Gupta.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was really good. I've yet to finish it, but like the first hour, like I was when they got into talking about how young men are more susceptible to
Myocarditis.
Yeah, myocarditis with the vaccine rather than, with COVID. Like that whole discussion that they were having was just painful to me because I was like, Sanjay, please listen to what he's saying. You're trying to refute it and still push the vaccine, which like, that's fine. But like, listen to what the article and what Joe is saying at this point. Like these young, healthy males were more susceptible to myocarditis getting the vaccine than like with COVID. And he was trying to like refute that as like, pushing out there like COVID's this big evil thing or whatever. And I was like, dog, just listen to the man.
Yeah.
Which like myocarditis, like it can be fatal, but it's easily treatable.
Well, the thing is you don't know the long-term effects of
Yeah.
myocarditis. There's not a lot of research on how that's going to affect someone throughout the entirety of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Rogan says, and like we've maintained since day one, if you're older, if you're overweight, if you have pre-existing conditions, I just got my first Fauci ouchie this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which one
Mexico
did you get?
coming up December.
you
I
get?
got a Moderna because
Aw, damn.
Pfizer's getting pulled off them shelves overseas, boy, for heart-related issues.
Sick. Maybe I'll have heart problems because I'm a
So-
Pfizer fuckboy. So
Well, I got my Moderna this week, and my Whoop strap 3 nights in a row after I got it was like, yo, your resting heart rate sleeping. Like, are you sick? That's obviously not the exact words, but
yeah,
it's like related to like a heavy workout or a heavy night of drinking or illness. I'm like, no, and no. Like it's Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Not drinking heavy. I'm doing everything like I normally do. But yeah, anyway, I got the Moderna because Pfizer's getting pulled off the shelves overseas.
interesting.
So back to where I started, I went a big circle to come back to this. Like we've said from the beginning, if you're worried about it, get the shot. I wasn't worried about it from day one, again, because I'm a younger, healthy guy. I'm not overweight. I treat my body well. I exercise. I work out, blah, blah, blah. I got it. Wasn't the best. I wouldn't recommend it to people, but it never was even close to killing me.
Yeah.
It is what
felt
it is.
pretty shitty.
Yeah, I felt pretty shitty, and I did it extremely backwards because I got the fucking vaccine after I got it, which, whatever. Arm was sore as shit for a couple days.
I was tired as hell after I got my first one. The second one I didn't have any effects on, but like the first one, the remainder of the day after I got that, dude, all I wanted to do was sleep.
I felt like Mike Tyson balled up his right fist and hit me square in the arm.
Just as hard as
it
it could.
hurt so bad. Anyway, But yeah, if you're a younger guy, because the study that they talked about in the Gupta Rogan interview was that males, I believe it was like from 16 to 21 or something like that.
Somewhere in that age range. It was like teenagers to early 20s.
Yeah, in a very young population of males are 40% more likely to end up in the hospital with myocarditis than they are to end up in the hospital with COVID. So it's like, hey.
Well, I think it was end up in the hospital with myocarditis from the vaccine rather than myocarditis from COVID.
Correct. Myocarditis as a direct result of them receiving their vaccine within that time frame. That, pretty directly is like, okay, you can link this issue with the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
Again, nothing. I don't have anything against the vaccine, but it is doing some weird shit to people's hearts, especially males. Like, males have had strokes, they've had heart attacks, they've had lingering joint health issues. Like, it's all published. You can look it up. You're not going to see it on
the news.
Well, you might see it on Fox News. You're definitely not going to see it on CNN. And even if you see it on Fox News, it's going to be like, young adult men are dying from the vaccine.
They're going to...
That's not what's happening. Okay. Yeah. No one's dying from... Well, people are dying from the vaccine.
A few people here and there have.
Whatever.
But like on the whole, you're not... Yeah. You don't have...
There was the doctor in Florida who got the vaccine. This is going back like a year ago and had a heart attack right after. Pretty directly related. Anyway, why would you continue to push these young men and Aaron Rodgers and his vaccine?
We'll get to that
topic. So kind of branching off on that, people are attacking Aaron Rodgers. He said he was vaccinated. He wasn't vaccinated. Not a good look. Don't do that. Don't lie about being vaccinated. But at the same time, they're like, he was putting others in danger, by not wearing a mask. Like, no, he is just as likely to get COVID with or without the vaccine. Some studies show that there's like a 8% chance of you less likely to get COVID with the vaccine. Like, okay, so at most, let's concede just that study. There's an 8% chance. So out of 100 people, 8 who are vaccinated didn't get the vaccine, or got the vaccine and didn't get COVID. Right? Very minimal numbers. You're not making anyone around you more or less safe by getting the vaccine or not getting the vaccine. We've said it 100 fucking times on this podcast, and people still, our listeners get it because they're very smart people. But other people out there still don't fucking get it. Like, don't make a young boy get a vaccine or guilt trip him into getting a vaccine when that's
where the whole conversation started on Joe Rogan's podcast. Was he looked at Sanjay Gupta and was like, why are we forcing kids to get this vaccine when they are young, they have healthy immune systems, they live pretty active, healthy lifestyles for the most part. Most kids do. There's no reason, like, they can reasonably fight it off themselves without needing like help or anything like that. And then Gupta went on his thing about like making it safe for the populace or whatever, and he kept going on this saying that, like, since he's been vaccinated, that he's not worried about like getting it because he'll be fine. And Joe was like, well, that your attitude is the same attitude that parents have about their kids, because they said, my kid's young and healthy, if they catch it, they'll be able to fight it off themselves. And then Gupta kept going back to be like, well, no, they need to be vaccinated. And Joe was like, why are we forcing them to get vaccinated if this age range of males is 40% more likely to suffer from myocarditis than if they just went about their daily lives. And the other thing that kept pissing me off about Gupta, he's like, well, I have immunity now. And I was like, no, the fuck you don't. I was like, you're not immune.
Well, he had COVID, so he technically does have immunity.
Yeah, well, so
from what I understand,
I didn't at least I didn't hear that part in the first part of the interview. And so I was like, but he kept wording it as like he's had the vaccine, so now he's immune. And I was like, bro, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah. And I love the podcast. Gupta, I don't have a bad word to say about that guy. I think he obviously works for CNN and he has to stay within some boundaries.
Yeah.
the thing that got me the most frustrated listening to him, and he's a smart guy, nice guy, like intelligent guy, open-minded. He was just so gung-ho on everyone should get vaccinated. Like even telling Rogan, you should get the vaccine. He has the antibodies, so why would he get vaccinated?
Yeah, like Rogan and his family have had COVID, so like they've got the antibodies now, so they're...
Yeah, that's better. If we could make a vaccine tomorrow that had the antibodies to where you get the vaccine, you don't get COVID.
Yeah.
I would say 100% of Americans should line up tomorrow at the nearest location and go get the vaccine. But that's not
that's not the vaccine we have.
No, that's not what we have. And so to argue with someone why they should get vaccinated when they have the antibodies is preposterous.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I did it was because I'm going to Mexico, and Mexico says you can't come in unless you have the vaccine, which I think is just as preposterous, because I should be able to say, listen, I got the antibodies, bro. I'm cool. Like I'm one of the safest people on this island. Like COVID can't touch me, brother.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever, they got their rules. I'm going to get the vaccine, which I think is stupid because I had like COVID-like symptoms for half a day after getting that stupid vaccine.
Yeah.
Not stupid. It saved a lot of people. I'm trying to not mince words and be as factual and as honest as possible. But for Gupta to tell Rogan that he should get the vaccine with the antibodies is just like, bro, you're too smart for this.
Yeah,
like,
you're
too smart to be saying these words.
And that was just him, pushing his CNN like agenda, I guess. I don't want to say agenda, but him staying within, his boundaries of like, I work for CNN, so I've got to like tell people to get the vaccine.
Yeah, and he didn't defend them saying that Rogan was taking horse dewormer. He said multiple times, like, that really bothered you, huh? Like, yeah, bro, a major fucking news network is telling lies about me very blatantly.
Yeah.
Like, and making it seem like I went to a fucking veterinarian. Like, a doctor prescribed this to me.
Yeah.
Like...
And people have drugged Joe Rogan throughout the duration of this pandemic for what he's done, but he didn't go off and go see like a witch doctor to get it done. Like there was research put into it and everything, and he just did what he thought was best. And everybody's like, "This guy's crazy," and it's like, I mean, is he crazy if it worked?
Well, I can tell you what my remedy was just vitamin C or vitamin D and zinc every day, and I got prescribed those steroids later on, and I took like 2 days of them, and they were making me fucking break out all weird. I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and like everybody's body's different. There's different treatments for different things, and you like so that worked for you, and whatever Rogan's doing is working for him and his family. And it just it is what it is. If I had
asthma, it'd be different.
Yeah, Yeah,
but
going on so kind of again staying in the same vein, this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Just because this is why the podcast was late today, is because I was finishing up watching the Chiefs game, which we won, by the way, huge W. But yeah, so dude, like there's a whole bunch to this. Like, so man just comes out and says, no, I'm not vaccinated, which is like whatever. The Packers knew it. The Packers organization knew about it. But like the thing that gets everybody is that he lied to the media and said that he was. But then the Packers organization, knowing that he's not vaccinated and just letting him do whatever he is doing. And then that's violating NFL protocol, and like this is gonna spiral out to a whole like it's gonna be a shit show. I've had a couple. I was talking to a buddy, and he was saying that his father-in-law is like, this might be like a whole conspiracy thing to get Rodgers out of Green Bay. Like he's probably played his last snap in Green Bay, and this is just that was like what pushed it over the edge for Rodgers getting out of Green Bay.
Well, Jordan Love looked like shit tonight. So you want to talk about your job being secured in Green Bay, because he was bad.
Yeah. Well, and then I saw little clips here and there of Rodgers was on like the Pat McAfee show being like, I have this whole like research thing I'm doing on the alternative to the vaccine. Like I'm just as safe as everybody else and yada, yada, yada.
Well, that's what he was saying when he was saying that was his justification, that when he told that reporter that he was immunized, he really meant that he was, taking his own procedures that were just as valid as the immunization, which was probably vitamin D and zinc.
Well, he came out and said that he was just doing
no.
what Joe Rogan was doing. Like,
Yeah,
he was basically following the same plan that Joe Rogan was doing, which worked for Joe, and apparently it's worked well for Rogers.
Well, yeah.
Up until now, because he caught it, but like whatever.
The thing is he definitely misled reporters.
Oh,
into
100%. He
vaccinated.
definitely just like shot himself in the foot on that one.
I think it's goofy as he does that, if he had been immunized, if he had had the vaccine, he just would have had to posted 2 negative tests and he could have been back on the field like instantly.
Yeah.
But when you're not vaccinated and you get COVID, then you have to sit out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're on the COVID list, which is basically the same as going to the IR.
Which is so stupid. Just make them post a negative test. It doesn't matter whether you have the vaccine or not.
Yeah.
Like once you're negative, you're negative. So cool, move on.
Right.
That part is completely dumb. The whole thing is fucking stupid. Where he fucked up, where what he shouldn't have done is lied to the national media, because then it comes to this and people
and now it's just exploded.
Are gonna jump all over his shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's really fucked himself on this one. So I want to see how he kind of wiggles his way out of this one. I don't think he just grew his hair out and went with the surfer bro look and just kind of like full scent on that whole like frat boy vibe.
Jimmy Kimmel called him like the Karen of the NFL. It was like,
don't like Jimmy Kimmel.
If you don't, I might be getting this quote wrong. I fucking hate Jimmy Kimmel like with a passion. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I'll go down there for a while. But my dad thinks he's hilarious, and he'll always be like, "Did you see Kimmel the other night talking about this?" I'm like, "No, I will turn a video off. Like, not even supporting his platform on his actual show. I do not want to watch that man speak because he infuriates me.
Well, and he's a
with
giant
his political shit.
Well, and he's a giant hypocrite too.
He was the host of the Man Show with Joe Rogan, where they used to have a fucking segment called "Women Bouncing on a Trampoline," which was basically 2 women bouncing on a trampoline with huge tits, and they'd slow it down and watch the fucking tits jiggle.
Yep.
Like,
and then now he goes on to doing his live show, and he's like this fucking justice warrior,
social fucking woke warrior.
Yeah.
Like, miss me with that shit, dude.
Fucking hypocrite.
Like, but he said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. Like, you're jeopardizing people around you by saying that you have the vaccine and you don't, and basically saying he was putting others in harm's way by not being vaccinated. It's like, wake the fuck up, dude. Like, that's not what's happening.
No.
The only reason for him to get the vaccine is for his own health and safety.
Yeah.
And he's a healthy fucking dude. If Aaron Rodgers drops dead in 5 days, I'll say, man, he probably should have got the vaccine. But you know who's not going to drop dead in 5 days? Aaron Rodgers. You know who's going to be back on the football field in a week or 2? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, so it's fine. He didn't need the vaccine. Whatever. Don't lie about it. I get that part. But he's not doing what you're saying he's doing. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I can't remember, does the NFL have something in place where everybody has to be vaccinated, or is it still optional for them? They would just prefer that everybody's vaccinated.
They would highly prefer, but it's still optional.
Yeah.
It's not a mandate. They do have different rules. Like, if you're not vaccinated, you're supposed to be wearing a mask in press conferences, in the locker room. That's the other thing people are saying, like, well, he should have been wearing a mask all these times, because he's like, yeah, technically under the rules, he should have been. Stupid rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, he should have been. The dude gets tested every fucking day. He's posted like 100+ negative tests without the vaccine. And I don't even like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a huge douchebag. I'm not sticking up for Aaron Rodgers because I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan as a person. Like, yeah, don't lie about it. Yeah, he deserves some shit about it. But the way it's being blown up is preposterous.
Well, they're going to use him as the fucking like big name example for this, and they're just going to crucify him for it.
Throw the book at him. Use him as the example.
Yep, it's just going to be a shit show. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to Nancy's comment from a little while ago. She said the government can think you can cut the foot off of a blanket and sew it to the top and make a longer blanket, i.e. daylight savings time, which I don't like daylight savings time. We should have got rid of daylight savings time forever ago.
I hate it.
It's so dumb.
I showed up to the golf course today an hour early because I was going off of the time on my watch. First time I've ever done this, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I was going off the time on my, and like the microwave clock in the kitchen. We had a wedding last night. Reagan had a sleepover, so I wasn't like, looking at my phone a bunch. In fact, my phone died last night. Just charged it this morning before I went to the course. Got to the course, I'm like, man, am I really the first person here? Like, my tee time's in like 20 minutes. Like, what's going on? And looked at my phone. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna go to the range.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that it had happened. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming up because I was like, all right, November, this is when it switches. But I forgot that like last night was like the end of daylight savings time until I got in my car today and I looked at my phone and I was like, all right, it's like 9:50, and then the clock in my car, I can't change it, and it said 10:50, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, daylight savings. I was like, no wonder I woke up so early today. Freaking felt like I got that extra hour of sleep. But actually reminds me I need to go switch all the clocks in my freaking kitchen. But yeah, no, daylight savings is stupid. And I don't even know why we made it a thing back in World War II, because it was like, we're going to give farmers an extra hour of daylight for the war effort so they can harvest longer. And I'm like, bro, switching the time does not switch the amount of like
No.
the amount of daylight in the day is the same.
No, exactly.
Like you just like gave them an extra hour so they could like harvest longer. What you really did was just tell them they could wake up later.
Yeah, that's like Kristen said when I told her that I got to the course an hour earlier. She's like, okay, well then you get to come home an hour earlier. I'm like, I mean, technically you're right.
And that's
but
where the
not
trouble began.
Really? Yeah, I mean, like, yes, I will be home an hour earlier, but at the same time, I'm starting an hour later. So just think that I'm getting done an hour earlier. That,
Yeah.
so dumb.
Kristen said that's not what I meant.
She's listening, fuck.
She's always listening.
She's always listening.
Nancy said Muncie, Indiana does not observe it. Yeah, and I think Arizona as a state doesn't observe it either. I don't think they've observed it for a long time.
Either.
And
Yeah.
I truly think that we should just get rid of it. Like, it's not really helping anything at this point. It's just it's causing more of a logistical pain in the ass for everybody every spring and fall rather than helping.
It's just a major inconvenience.
It really is. I want to know what the statistics are for the spring when daylight savings starts and the fall when it ends on the amount of people every year that are late to work or early to work.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I was the guy at the golf course this morning as I was walking up. Like, they're barely getting like the hot dogs on the rollers, and the guy in the club's house like,
"What's up,
hey,
dog?
man, how can I help you?" I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot.
You walk in, hey, I am big stupid. I'm just gonna go to the range.
First one this morning that did not set his clock right. And he was like, I knew there was gonna be one. I'm like, yeah,
it's me. Surprise!
Me.
Can I
am.
Can I get a double Jack and Coke?
Yes, I immediately went and got a double Tito. They actually had a drink called the Screw Up.
There it is. They made that one specifically
OJ,
for today.
Sprite, and Tito's. And I checked in with him, got my range balls, and then I went over to the bar and he came walking back behind. It's like, yeah, I'll do a Screw Up. That seems like an appropriate way to start my morning, considering on this morning's actions. And the guy looked at me and he just started laughing. He's like, very appropriate.
Very
like,
appropriate.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Here I am. I'll be on the range.
That's hilarious. Screw ups.
Yeah. Yeah, Screw Ups.
But yeah, I'm just thankful it was on a weekend, So
I thought I heard Reagan coming in here. Yeah, it is a weekend. Luckily,
so that was nice. Man, what else?
How about Alec Baldwin, huh?
Holy, So
maybe we should make a drink after him. Name the prop gun. Too soon?
that one comes with alcohol, even though it says it doesn't.
It's not. They're not blanks in that drink, folks.
No. So I haven't looked into.
That's not nice.
No, I haven't looked into that one too much, but I guess from what I understand is the prop guy or whatever like handed him the gun for the scene, but it was a real gun loaded with 45.
Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to be.
And it wasn't supposed to be. So when that happens, I feel like my immediate knee-jerk reaction is like, it's a setup.
No,
But I don't think it's a
yeah.
setup. I think it's an accident. A tragic
It
accident.
was.
And I don't
Yeah.
understand. So on the movie set, I don't know why. Like I don't know. I guess I need to look into it more, but I don't understand why there was a real gun there in the first place.
They were gonna film with it. That was the gun he was. That's why he pointed at the producer or whatever, and said, "So I'm just gonna grab the gun and point it and go like this, right?" And bang, and he pulled the trigger thinking it wasn't loaded and it wasn't gonna shoot anything, and that's why he had it pointed at her because he was like trying to rehearse, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, right? And when he went bang, it went off.
So I have many things with this. Number one, where's your weapon safety person for the set?
That's the thing. Like basic
weapon safety. Like, don't point a weapon at anybody.
Loaded or not.
Loaded or not, never point a weapon at anybody. Also, trigger discipline. Like, keep your finger off the trigger. Like, he didn't have to squeeze the trigger to be like, hey, so I'm going to do this and then go bang. Like, you could have just said bang instead of, like, pulling the trigger.
Exactly.
And then number three, why check the weapon. Always check. Whenever you get handed a weapon by anybody, check that bitch. Always.
Well, Alec Baldwin doesn't know how to check a firearm.
How many movies has he done with a gun? Like, you have to rack it. That's like I'm sure somewhere down the line somebody has taught him some basic weapons safety, and he just decided to forget all of that. Like, this is why I'm thankful that there's people and actors in Hollywood like Will Smith, who, I don't know. Did you ever see that video? Where it was Will Smith, it was Will Smith and a bunch of other like people around him, and they were looking at all the guns, the prop guns or whatever, for whatever movie he was doing. It might have been for Gemini Man, but anyway, somebody picks one of the weapons up off the table and starts just like kind of getting ready to like wave it around or whatever, and Will Smith grabs the gun and puts the dude's hand and the gun back down on the table, picks up the weapon, clears it, makes sure it's not loaded, takes the clip out of it. And then proceeds to look at that guy and go, look, man, whether you think it's a prop gun or not, and like gives him an education on weapon safety. And that's Will Smith as an actor.
Yeah.
Was like, dude, we're not doing this. So there was a major breakdown and a major failure on a lot of people's part in that whole situation.
Yeah.
And Alec Baldwin is a fucking idiot for pointing that at somebody and B, not like remembering, because I'm more than positive at some point somewhere down the many plethora of movies he's done that there has been other scenes with firearms, and somebody somewhere was like, this is weapon safety, this is what you do when you get handed a weapon. Like, hello?
Clearly, whether he's gotten that or not, he threw it all out the window, because I've never even been through like a weapon safety class, but I can tell you certainly that I know not to A, point a gun at something you don't intend to kill, and B, never pull the trigger in the direction of something that you don't want to strike.
Yeah,
whether there's bullets in it or not.
Yeah, so I'm just flabbergasted of that like whole thing, like that happened. I'm like, nah, he's just messing with his blanket back there. Nancy, he likes to mess with it, sir.
I was gonna say earlier, he was going to town on that thing. Like,
he
come
does.
here, bitch.
He does go to
Come
town
here.
on that blanket. Don't chew up your blanket, buddy. But yeah, so that's crazy. But so now, given that, there's a bunch of actors that have banned like real firearms on their set. Like The Rock was one of them. He's like, nope, if I'm doing a movie with like there's gonna be firearms or anything, like we're not having real guns. So I don't know what that's gonna do.
Or just take a basic.
Or just have,
class.
or like, so do,
Yeah.
so look, whatever, ban them if you want to ban them. But I hope that, as unfortunate it is that producer, died and Alec Baldwin was a fucking idiot about it. Like, hopefully from this, production companies look at this and go, okay, maybe we need to start having weapons safety people actually present during our movies that are going to have firearms. And maybe we should take all of our actors and extras and everybody that's involved in this through a weapons safety class. And if something happens where they just don't do what they're supposed to, we get them out.
And like one guy is responsible for handling all the weapons, and he's like an ex-Navy SEAL or something.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't even have to be that fucking.
I'm just saying, like someone that's very well trained in knowing exactly what weapon safety is, like,
there's a market
take
for.
them all out
Look,
and make
here you
them
go.
plastic, whatever.
Take note. Production companies. You have an entire market of military personnel who have had these classes beat into their brains. Hire veterans.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a tragedy.
You probably got a homeless veteran outside of your studio in Hollywood. He would love to have a job as your weapons guy.
Yeah. No, dude. Every veteran in America has a job. Come on.
Okay.
We don't have any homeless veterans.
Yeah, that's fine.
America.
That's not the reason that Kansas City had to build a whole tiny home fucking community for all of them.
No, dude, we take really good care of our veterans. We don't like try to make them prove that they got cancer from burn pits and, like not cover their deductibles.
The VA.
Yeah.
Fucking VA.
Here we go.
I hate the VA.
Yeah. Let's keep her moving.
Well, anyway, yeah. So
We can
that's
get on
just
that for another hour.
it's just a dumb and unfortunate situation that Alec Baldwin put himself in through his own stupidity.
Should have never happened.
It shouldn't have. And those be some people out there that would be like, conspiracy, he was set up. But I don't that was just my knee-jerk reaction, mainly just for like the meme, I guess. But
I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump said he did it on purpose. I think that's a real thing.
I mean, maybe
I can't remember. Well, he did all, he was Trump on SNL. So Fox News fucking jumped all, they were just reveling. Like, a fly when they find like something sweet finally and they sit there with their grubby little pincers and they're like, oh, yeah. That was Fox News with this Alec Baldwin thing. Like, oh my God, he fucked up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, all those Trump bits, we finally got him in a corner.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. You shouldn't take advantage of a guy like that,
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, if it was, and maybe he had some beef with that producer and set it all up to be this was an accident. Like, I don't believe that for a second. I feel like it was just a very unfortunate mistake.
Yeah.
And he just threw every bit of common sense and weapons knowledge out of his brain at that moment in time and just assumed.
Yeah.
But the takeaway from this, chat, is never assume that a weapon is unloaded when it's handed to you. Always check the weapon if you get one handed to you. Never point it at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your damn finger off of the trigger until you're ready to fire the gun. And know what's behind your target. If you're going to shoot something, you better know damn well that there's nothing or anyone behind that you don't want to shoot.
And it's probably worth going to a gun range one day and just checking out some very basic weapons.
Familiarize yourself.
And know what you're doing.
Gun ranges, I'm more than positive, put on weapons safety classes every now and then. So maybe go and check out when the next one is, and go just familiarize yourself and know what to do.
Yeah, careful though, because you might get addicted. Because shooting guns is actually pretty fun.
It's fun as shit as long as you do it in the correct manner.
Yes, be safe about it.
Wear your ear pro.
Yep.
And be safe. They do have safety classes often. Yeah, that's what I thought they did. Thank you, Ham.
Don't point guns at people.
Definitely don't point guns at people. Unless they're in your house and then they're asking for it.
Yeah. And
then not just in your house, if they break into your house.
Yeah.
They break into your house, then you're going to beat them. Unfortunately, I live in a bullshit state where I can't have those or it's really hard, so somebody's just going to get their ass whooped with that lightsaber back there.
Yeah.
Just because I think it'd be funny. Anyway.
Imagine
being a robber, breaking into somebody's house, and they just beat you with a fucking fuck you.
By that guy.
Imagine this fucking guy. I can't figure out which way to point it. But this guy just beats the shit out of you with a lightsaber in his house, and you have to go back to your buddies and be like, "Hey, yo, some dude in a fucking Canadian tuxedo just beat the fuck out of me with a lightsaber in their house." You wouldn't rob houses anymore after that. It's all part of the plan, chat. Look, man, I felt cute today, all right?
You were cute. I'm gonna cry.
You're lucky I can take a joke. I'll put on the Canadian tuxedo to beat that guy up too. Don't fucking. I'll do it. I swear.
I had that all planned out with Kristen earlier when we were sitting on the porch.
Kristen, you're in on this? We are not friends.
I was tears were running down my face while she helped me plan it, I gotta say.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. That's fun. Yeah.
100% your idea. I'm ashamed, ma'am. I am ashamed. But yeah, that guy just whoops your ass with a fucking light up lightsaber.
You don't recover from that one.
No, hell no. I wouldn't. If I was on the opposite side of that, I'd be like, I'm going straight, dog. I'm never robbing another house a day in my life. Fuck that noise.
You get to jail, they're just gonna beat you up every
Be
day.
like, yo, dog, what happened? Why are you in jail? I tried to rob
This
somebody's
guy?
house. What the guy, yo, and he whooped your ass? What did he look like? I don't know. He was just like kind of tall, lanky dude with a mustache, and he was in a Canadian tuxedo, and he whooped the shit. He whipped the shit out of me with a fucking lightsaber, man. And then at that point, they're just gonna beat the hell out of you just because, you know, you let that happen to you. God damn it.
Oh God, that's fun. Fun times on the podcast.
Great times.
Oh
shit.
God.
What else do we have?
I don't know. We talked about it earlier. My beard's gone.
Yeah, I know your beard is gone. Well, we're just over an hour, so.
Yeah, I wonder. Chad, have anything for us?
Chat, you got anything? We're pretty much at that point. We did a pretty decent job of covering everything that happened over the last couple of weeks while we were gone.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty rapid fire.
We
which
did
is
it.
Good.
You guys got anything for us? What else happened out there in the world that we may or may not have missed?
Oh, Biden wants. He's putting out that. Well, he's trying to put out that vaccine mandate.
Biden's vaccine mandate can lick my taint.
January 4th, all employees have to have the vaccine, or small businesses face like a $14,000 fine.
Jesus Christ, what's he
like
trying to do? Break the backbone of America by putting small businesses out of business?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Someone might want to fact check that for me, but I think it's by January 4th. He wants all employers to have their employees vaccinated, and if they're not, I think it's like 14,500 is the fine, which is extremely unconstitutional.
Oh, 100%. Somebody
ridiculous.
They need to check this man. Somebody needs to check this man.
So you're gonna have to turn in your vaccine card to your employer? Is that how that's gonna? I mean, I don't know. It's fucking.
I feel like a violation of HIPAA and your privacy.
Can you both do the next podcast dressed as Instagram Ben? Yes.
That's easy. Okay,
Yes.
I can do that. The jean jacket is my fall vibe, so I will definitely I can put that on for the next podcast.
I'm gonna order those sunglasses tomorrow.
I don't have them in here. They're somewhere else. They're out in the kitchen. Hey, those things fuck. All right.
No, I listen. I'm not. I just you were looking cute. Okay?
Thanks, man.
You were looking cute. I just thought it'd be funny if I put that picture as.
This man logs on to the Zoom call before we get started, and he's like, oh man, my camera's not working. And I was like, all right, first of all, cut the shit. And that picture's his fucking profile picture for Zoom, and I'm like, hey, bro, you fucking having a piss right now? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The funny thing is my camera really wasn't working. It really, I did not intend you to see that picture until mid podcast, and it really wasn't working. I'm like, get it off, camera, come on. Oh yeah. Anyway, Nancy, I'm tired of the vaccine too.
I'm tired of hearing about it as well. I got.
Oh, we got the pill now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pfizer, since their vaccine's getting pulled off shelves, is like, don't worry, we have a pill.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like 98% effective or some shit.
Well, similar to the pill they give you when you have the flu, right? What's that called? Theraflu?
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called Theraflu. It's basically the same premise.
Yeah.
98% effective. You're not gonna end up in the hospital if you get COVID and you get the pill within like 4 days or something like that. It's like 98% effective. So
yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I'm tired of hearing
That's what
about all
they
of
say
it, man.
anyway.
I just want to move on with
too.
life.
Me too. Oh, and the Cowboys suck.
Dude, the Cowboys got the shit beat out of them.
I mean, they don't suck, but they suck today, dude. Poor
Tamiflu. Yeah,
Hugo.
there it is. Yeah.
Tamiflu, that's the one. Yeah.
Hugo was not feeling good today about that one.
No, Dak comes back, and then the Broncos
Just decided to figure it out and wail on him.
give them the business, dude. That was bad.
I saw a
And
clip which
Texas-
was really funny about that.
about
The Cowboys. Yeah. So you remember in I don't remember which Avengers or which Marvel movie it was, but it was the one where like the Hulk kind of goes berserk and Tony Stark's in the Hulkbuster armor and he's just like punching the shit out of the Hulk into the ground like go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
Tony Stark, Iron Man was the Broncos and Hulk was the Cowboys and they were just like go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
That was bad,
That
dude.
mess was funny. Yeah, Texas
was
got
real
the shit
bad.
beat out of them by Iowa State.
Texas football is fucking embarrassing, dude. it's fucking embarrassing. Like, I am so numb to watching Texas football lose at this point in the season that I was literally just watching the game last night, just laughing. Like, obviously, I want to win every game, but it was so bad, it was laughable. Like,
I didn't happen to catch any of it. I watched Arkansas yesterday. We beat Mississippi State, which was nice. That was good after having our bye week, and the week before we beat the hell out of UABP. And so I was busy watching that game, so that was good. So we're bowl eligible now, which is very tight. But yeah, I didn't even see the score. What was the score?
I don't remember because I fell asleep watching it.
Oh, Kristen's calling you out. She said no, you were throwing a fit, and then you fell asleep. And she said she didn't wake you
yeah.
up till it was over because I knew you'd keep complaining.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. That's 1,000% accurate. I do.
She
this
said
thing,
she said sleeping Alex means peaceful household while the game's on. Yes,
I
let
do
him
this
sleep.
thing where it gets so bad, I just start throwing a tantrum, and I take to Twitter, and I am just a ruthless savage.
I'm
like,
I didn't see bless. I didn't see
I
many
just-
tweets from you yesterday other than like Mac said one that was like, wow, Texas football sucks, and then there was a couple tweets that you would reply to somebody and one tweet out like you were just like, yeah, this is embarrassing. And I was like, oh, he kept it pretty tame this week. No Twitter jail for Alex.
No, I stayed out of Twitter jail at least. It's all in the replies. It's all in the replies. I just seek out people and I turn into a different person. I turn into
You need to
pretty
Kristen,
friendly.
You're gonna start
nice-
taking his phone
Yes.
during the game and at least for 24 hours after the game. No phone for Alex.
Twitter needs to deactivate my account every time Texas football starts losing. They just need to be like, nope, you're listen,
done.
man. We'll see you tomorrow morning. all
You're
right?
done.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. Sleep it off. Relax. It's okay. Yeah, we fucking suck. It's so bad. The only good thing about yesterday is maybe Arch Manning is looking at the situation in Texas right now, thinking, man, both those quarterbacks suck. I could come in and be the starter. And maybe Arch Manning will take us back to the promised land. I don't know.
Interesting. Rather than
don't
going
know.
rather than going legacy down at Ole Miss or something.
I don't know.
It's in Twitter's
don't
hands
care.
now.
Longhorn, hook 'em horns to the day that I die. But it's not fun right now.
That's okay. You get to feel my pain of the last couple years of being an Arkansas fan.
Makes me sad all day. Yep.
Yep.
But
Anyways,
basketball's right around the corner.
true. Arkansas is going to look good again this year. Very excited for that. All right. So I think with that chat, we are going to wrap it up for the evening. A little bit later than normal because we started a little bit later than normal. That was my fault. Had to watch football.
I'm gonna go eat dinner.
We
I'm
will
ready.
be back next week, barring any changes in anyone's schedule. So yeah, until then, you guys have a great week. Have a safe week. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to people. And remember that photo. Take a screenshot. Put it as your phone wallpaper. I'll be watching over you.
Capture it. It's saved on my computer.
Of
so
course it is. Anyway, we'll talk to you all next week. Have a great week, and we love you all right? Peace,
love you
everyone.
guys.